what hurt you the most, and what's the most surprising moment that you've been through?
God, I mean, there's been a lot of, it's been very difficult constantly. I experience moments of intense self-doubt and self-hatred that comes out of a variety of things. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough for the movement, for the people in the world I care about. Other times I feel like all of my peers and the people living in this community with me treat what I believe and the well-being of the world as a joke, which really hurts when you believe something to sort of have it laughed at. I mean, one of the most painful experiences for me was definitely over homecoming, when this recent alum kind of came by and just started asking the same question over and over again without listening to the answers. And I kept trying to engage in dialogue with him, but he was so aggressive and so militantly ignorant that it kept breaking down every time I tried to talk to him. And then I would kind of leave, and then I would re-engage with him because he wasn't leaving. And eventually, you know, I tried to apologize to him because the dialogue was breaking down. I said, I'm sorry, you know, I think we can really talk, but there seems to be some block between us. And he started yelling at me for apologizing to him about our inability to communicate. And at that point I said, you know what, if you're not going to even accept my right to say that we're having trouble talking, I can't speak to you. And then he proceeded to sort of heckle me for 30 minutes while I sat there in total silence. And he continuously said, you're a hypocrite, you don't know what you're doing, you don't dare talk to me, I'm so much smarter than you, you're stupid. Just sort of everything he could come up with to hurt me verbally, everything short of physical violence, he did. And I sat there and I took it, and that was so powerfully transformative for me to go through that intense emotional pain, but it really hurt. And, you know, it's been very difficult maintaining investment in a lot of the other things I'm doing in my life, because they seem so ephemeral and so unimportant compared to what I really want to be doing, which is really engaging in affecting change in the world. And so it's been really difficult not being able to devote the time I'd like to the movement. At the same time, it's been difficult because of the amount of time I've devoted to the movement to still stay on top of everything else I'm doing, because I'm extremely busy, you know, as evidenced by the fact that I gotta leave in a couple of minutes to go perform in this play. And so that's all been painful. And then, you know, I think I was someone who always felt like a total outsider in this Dartmouth community, which was really difficult for me, and I went through many periods of intense depression and sadness. And I feel like I had just gotten over all that, and the community had kind of accepted me in this interesting way. And then I started doing this, and now I feel more alien than I ever did. And it's sad that you're treated like a freak for wanting to change the world, for caring, for trying to live your beliefs. You know, to live your beliefs is a dirty thing on this campus. People here would much rather live the Dartmouth paradigm and try and keep their beliefs alive deep within inside themselves until they get out of here, and then they can pursue their beliefs. After you graduate, then you can change the world. And that's a broken idea in itself, you know.
I'm really sorry to hear that. But so, like, what about the school? Like, do you receive any challenges from the school at all?
Like the administration?
Yeah.
The administration has been difficult, but not outright aggressive or oppressive. They're definitely not overtly supportive. They're really into bureaucracy. They kind of have been making us fill out these forms that really don't do anything or go to anyone. They've actively limited how many, you know, they told us we can only have 110 and all that sort of stuff. And then recently they've started, they clearly want us not to be there, I guess. Dean Johnson came and asked sort of said, what if I gave you guys money to put on a forum about this movement, and you guys closed the camp and had a symposium instead. So there's definitely resistance from the administration.
Yeah. Oh, you have a little now?
Yeah, well, if you have one last question or something, I can do one more, but...
Okay, so what, like, general is like, what's next? Like, what after this?
Well, my theory, and the beauty of this movement is no one's in charge, and so I can't say for sure whether or not this is going to happen, but I don't think we can maintain the Occupy during winter term. I think that there's so much animosity, and it's so cold, and so many of the core occupiers have a lot of stuff to do this winter, or will be gone, that it's not going to be realistic, which I think is actually a blessing in disguise, because what I think we'll see, what I'm definitely planning on doing, is taking this Occupy, like the people in New York are doing, out of the camp, out of the tent encampments and into everywhere. You know, I'm looking forward to going to other events for other organizations and occupying those events with signs, with slogans.